Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome to Thigh Company Gaming, guys. We are back with our final episode of Drift Space here for Drift Space series, right before the Christmas update comes out here. Kind of talking about my thoughts about the Drift Space add-on or update that they've added to Grow a Kingdom. You know, basically things that I like, things that I think maybe would be changed perhaps in a future update. Who knows? Maybe they'll perhaps make another update like this. But let us go ahead and dive right in and see all about Drift Space for today. Alright guys, so I'm here on my Thigh Company Roblox account. I'm also here with Frosty as well. Hello Frosty! What's going on, Frosty? What's going on? I still want content creator. You gotta make videos on Grow a Kingdom, Frosty. You gotta do that. But yeah, today we're talking about Drift Space, guys. So still, even to this day, people are asking me how to unlock the facility, how do you get into Drift Space, how you do all that. So basically, for those of you who may not even know what this is all about, if you talk to this guy named Sakam, who's like a quest giver here, he has a quest here called Unlock the Facility, which gives you the most money here out of everything. So, for us to do that, we have to pretty much go to like the stands and everything here, and you have to look for the purple little gems and stuff here. Sometimes they're kind of scattered around, so it looks like it's not at Billy's here. Let's see here. Let's see. So we have to find a little purple. Some people call it purple buttons. Some people call it purple gemstones, but they're around here somewhere. So I don't see one there. Let's see. Sometimes they're towards the back here as well. Sometimes behind a tree or behind a rock here. So we're going to look for that and then... So the first thing that kind of is something I wish we could do is eventually get like a multiplayer Drift Space thing going. I don't know if that could be done, but it would be nice to have that ability to do that. Alright, so here's the purple little guys here. So there's one here. So that's one. Let's see, maybe there might be one behind the tree here. They like to kind of jump around to different places. Sometimes they're behind the trees here. Yeah, like this one's behind the tree there. In that left corner. We'll check. Sometimes they're behind the rock. Sometimes they're in Billy's shack there. Hey, Thigh! Hey, what's up? So here's the third one. Can we play Sniper Die? Perhaps later. Yes, perhaps later. Alright, let's take a look. And then the last one here at Billy's shack is right in... I like how Billy's head goes behind you. So you see that little button right there behind Billy's shack? You gotta click it here. Alright, let's do it. Alright, there we go, guys. You got the corrupted man. The corruption is here. Alright, corrupted, guys. There we go. Oh, I'm kind of stuck. I don't remember being stuck before. I can't seem to move. Oh, there we go. So we're now in Drift Space, Dimension of the Corrupted. So I'm going to try to speedrun this basically, right? Because we've done this several times before. If you haven't seen our other Drift Space videos, definitely recommend to take a look into that. So what's interesting is if I go in first person mode, you can kind of see your body if you have shift locked enabled. If you don't, you can kind of go in and out like that. So that's interesting. So yeah, the first thing you gotta do is you gotta do kind of like an obby here. So I'm gonna try to do this fast because when it becomes nighttime, it becomes very dark. I don't know if it was intentional for it to be that dark in this game, but I'm not too huge of a fan of being unable to play at night because, you know, I guess the purpose of a game is to play. Alright, so there's a code here. I think it's like 384 or 387 or something. There we go, 384. There we go. I should know that number by heart now. Alright, so now we got to go into the lab here. Unfortunately, it's pretty tough to walk around. Now, I wish the artifact A, you know, one thing that could be done, though, perhaps in a future update, if, now I don't know what part is land and what part I can't jump on and what I can't. That's another concern is I don't know where the sea is and where the actual, like, land is where you can walk on. I'm a little concerned about that. Alright, so now we're back into the lab here. What's this little white block here? I don't know what that is. Maybe a light or something. You got a little computer there. So, just by, playing the game, you kind of want to speedrun this because of how crazy it gets at night. So I'm kind of concerned by that. Let's see here. That's got to go. So we got to make like a pipe here. There we go. There we go. So now we can run fast, because if without it, you basically are running dead slow, right? Now the other thing, it was really confusing trying to figure out where Luminarch is. So, because you do think there's something here at the door, at this like building here. It doesn't really become obvious that this big giant structure here is where you need to go. I guess perhaps by just wandering around you could find the gate, but think about the average player. How would they know to go here? I don't know. Maybe if there was like street lights or something going this way, perhaps. I don't know. It's kind of tough to find this gate here. Alright, so now we have the gate here. Perhaps maybe I would make it look more like a dungeon or just have this open up. A little thigh company there, that's kind of fun, right? Alright, so let's go and fight Luminarch here. Alright, there we go. I wish Luminarch had like a voice too. That would be fun though, if he had a voice, Alright, Luminarch fight. So here you gotta keep spamming E to pretty much defend against him. Oh yeah, try to get him into the middle here if you can. Yeah, and I'm not liking how tough it is to avoid his attacks. The magic attacks are kind of tough to avoid. So what I try to do is I recommend players to go into the middle of the map. It seems to be easier to defend against him that way. But the thing is, it's just, I think there's kind of like a technique than anything when fighting Luminarch. Whoa, what was that ghost creature? I don't remember that being there before. Block when screen yellow. There we go, so we just defeated Luminarch. I don't even see where his body is. I don't know why. Kind of interesting. So, goodbye, little thigh companies there, right? Alright, so we're back. So now we have to do everything before it gets way too dark. I don't know if there should be a little bit of an indicator or better indicator when it's going to be dark, because you can't really see a moon or anything here. It's just like a red sky. But you do see the sun there, but you don't always see the sun, Or maybe there should be a thing like you feel time is fleeing from you or something. Yeah, like a little message or something that kind of indicates you gotta move fast, versus it being like you're in this area full of like mystery. So we need to avoid artifact B if we can. That's like the last thing we need to do. So that's C. So I think this is A. No, that's D. Okay. Sword glows too. I didn't know that. So this is artifact A. The reason I recommend doing B last is because sometimes those zombies come out of nowhere and they can move kind of in a way that's kind of awkward to run away from. All right, so this is how pretty much you defeat Drift Space, and it'll take you back to the actual like facility, which is this big kind of like a teleportation site or a hub. I don't know if maybe the facility should have different music or not. I'm kind of not sure about that. But I definitely want to see more updates to the facility, so it's not just like something where it's just here for that drift space. But I'm pretty sure they'll add more updates to that. I'm certain of it. The avatar blueprint thing keeps popping up every time you finish drift space, so I don't know if it's something where you can keep getting it. I think the idea is you just have a one-time thing though, but because it pops up like that, I guess it might confuse some players. But yeah, I like the little control panel that they have here too, where you can just go and select where to go. So that's cool. I almost wonder if they should do like a purple themed light here. I could see that being a thing that they should add. But it's pretty cool, guys. It's pretty cool. Alright, guys, we can go ahead and wrap this up right over here. But overall, I think Drift Space is a very cool thing that they added into Grow a Kingdom. It feels very different than Grow a Kingdom, though, but it's meant to be part of the lore for the game here. But let me know down in the comments section below, guys, your opinion of Drift Space. What do you think you would change if you could change Drift Space, or what would you add? Let us know. Otherwise, guys, thank you all so much for watching today's video. Subscribe to Thigh Company Gaming if you have not. Also, check out our other channel, Thigh Company. Thank you all so much, and we'll see you in the next gameplay video, guys. Peace out, and take care.